Okay, so everyone, in the first half of today's class, I have already did introduction of the syllabus to you. Now I told you about the potential changes in the timetable. I told you what A is all about, what are the part A, part B, part C, then what is the focus that you need to have. In short, for audit, you must focus on question attempt. In my class, I will tell you about the principle. I will also do questions with you. But most importantly is, after the class, you need to spend some time to try and rewrite the answer on your own. Okay, and this is especially true when you are doing questions like audit risk or whatever, those core area. Today, we are still not at the core area because today is just an introduction. So part A1 is just telling you what audit is all about. And then if you look at the syllabus name, audit and assurance. Audit and assurance. So you need to understand what is these two things, and are they the same, and etc. Okay, then part A2 is about the laws and regulation regulating auditor. That's not so important. So as I told you, we see our time. If we have enough time, I will enter A2. If not to worry. I will give you video to supplement that area, but that area is not important. Is chances for part A2 to come out is very low. So essentially, you just roughly understand one time, that's it already. Okay, now, earlier today, I tell you where is the auditor in forms of company. When company is concerned, I think you know about the agency theory already. So some of it is being repeated in my notes, but as you know, I don't want to repeat each and every words here. So I will only tell you what are the very important things that you need to know so that you can pass this paper. Okay, first, you need to understand what's the objective and the principle of an external audit engagement. So just now, when we start the class, I already asked you to tell me randomly, what do you understand by an audit, right? So first thing first, you see, the objective of an audit. Okay, now before that, if you look at this, I write here, according to ISA 200, blah, 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 blah. Now, first thing first, I want you to know this. The ISA here actually stands for International Standard of Auditing. Okay, it stands for International Standards of Auditing. Now, what about in accounting? Accounting, we have ISA, right? We have ISA, and then we have IAS. Blurry. IAS, International Accounting Standard. We have IFRS, International Financial Reporting Standard. That's for accounting. This is audit. Audit, we use ISA. But good news, ladies and gentlemen, you don't need to remember the name and the number. Don't need to remember the name and the number. It is not going to be examinable. Okay, don't need to remember the name and the number. Okay, can understand this or not, everyone? If you can understand what I mean here, you type yes. Can understand what I mean? No need to remember the name and the number. Understood? Yes or no, people? Understood, huh? Okay, good. So if you understand, then we move on to the key point. Audit is to express opinion. Now, what is an opinion? Everyone, opinion is not a truth. You need to know, opinion is not a truth. Opinion is merely, in Malay, we call pendapat. Pendapat, in Mandarin, 意见. Okay, 意见. So it's not the truth. It's just what the auditor feel. But of course, their opinion must be supported by evidence. The opinion must be supported by evidence. It has to be supported by evidence. You cannot just simply give opinion without gathering evidence. So the opinion is on the financial statement, whether is it prepared according to the financial reporting framework. Financial reporting framework can be the accounting standard. It can be the laws and regulation. Like for example, company must comply with Companies Act. And I think you study your law paper before, should be. So this can be part of the financial reporting framework as well. So auditor is merely expressing an opinion on whether is the financial statement prepared according to this. And take a look at this word, material. Okay, everyone, I'm wondering, have you ever seen this word before? Like in accounting, I think you know what is material, right? If you still remember the word material, you say yes. If you sort of forget already, you say no. Can you still remember what is material? Yes or no? Material. Material is not raw material, by the way. It's not raw material. But when I say something is material, that something is what? Can you tell me? If I say something is material, that something is a material item is what kind of item? If something is material, that item, yes, it is important, it is substantial. Okay, thank you very much. In a very layman term, material means big, material means important. That's all. Like if a figure is huge, it's substantial, it is material. If that information is important, it is material as well. So auditor is going to focus on material item. Auditor is going to focus on material item. Okay, I want to ask you a question, everyone. Do you think it is possible for auditor to audit everything in the financial statement, like each and every one of the invoices, each and every one of the receipt and the payment? Is it possible? Type yes if you think, yeah, that's what the auditor should do. Type no if you think, no, the auditor no need to do this. Yes or no? Do we need to audit everything in the financial statement, everyone? Yes or no? Yes or no? Okay, why no? Why no? You are right, but why? Anyone can tell me why? What do you think? Why not? Okay, auditor cannot audit 100% of the financial statement. Too much, wasting time. Okay, too many, cannot, too long process. Okay, yeah, the financial statement is a summary. Yeah, the financial statement is a summary, but you still have to check the breakdown. You still have to go to the detail. The issue is you don't need to check everything. Okay, you don't need to check everything. Some of you have the right answer. You don't have enough time. It's too long. That's right. Because you see, everyone, a lot of time in financial statement, the transaction are being repeated. The transaction actually just repeat one. The figure is not the same only. For example, for sales, every month you have sales, every day you have sales. The product are the same, but maybe different people, different amount only. That's all. But the transaction are the same. So it doesn't make sense for you to check everything. No need lah. In fact, auditor, they are going to just do sampling testing only. They will only do a sampling test. Okay, to make you understand this even better. Now, imagine if you are auditing a bank. You know a bank? Maybank lah, public bank lah, bank right yet, whatever, a bank. If I ask you to audit every transfer, every do it now transfer in, transfer out, every withdrawal of money, every deposit of money, good luck. Good luck. You're trying to audit everything across the whole country. I think you will go crazy. It's impossible. It's impossible for you to audit everything. So that's why here we talk about material. Now take note, materiality is an important topic in audit. That's why I spend some time to tell you about this material. Okay, the next part, some of you also told me the opinion is whether the financial statement is giving a true and fair view. Okay, however, everyone, I want you to look at this. Some of you just now actually mentioned a few things. Okay, now let me just quickly go back here. Some of you mentioned a few things here. Now, there are certain things which I want to tell you. This one, oversee financial statement is not really the right word, because the word oversee may mean prepare financial statement. Take note, auditor, please take note, auditor do not prepare financial statement. They do not oversee the process as well. So that's why I will not use the word oversee. It's not really a proper word. Okay, because we need to make it clear. The management prepare financial statement. The auditor express opinion on whether the financial statement, is it true and fair? Does it comply with the standard? Now, this point, auditor check for fraud is not 100% correct. Okay, it's not 100% right. Now, I will explain to you more about this later, or maybe in the subsequent classes, but just take note, everyone. Auditor's responsibility is not mainly to check for fraud. Although it may involve fraud, but their main objective is not to detect fraud. By the way, what is fraud? Fraud is, in a very simple Malay language, makan duit lah. Okay, makan duit, that's a fraud lah. So auditor is not really 100% responsible for this. So please take note. And as such, I make myself very clear now. The auditor's responsibility is on the financial statement. Is it giving a true and fair view? That's all. Okay, that's all. So the focus is on whether is it free from material misstatement. Now look at this word. I want you to learn this word. What does it mean by material misstatement? You understand what is material already, but what's the meaning of misstatement? Okay, the word misstatement comes from two words, mis and statement. Mis can be understood as mistake. Statement can be understood as financial statement for audit. Actually, this word is not just for audit purpose. But for auditing, because we audit financial statement, you can understand misstatement as mistake on the financial statement. So big or important mistake in the financial statement. That's what the auditor is going to focus on. Now everyone, you can understand this or not? If you can understand this, you type 222. Can understand this word on material misstatement? It is a key word that you must understand. Okay, you understand, right? Okay, good. Then I want to test your understanding. Everyone, you tell me whether my statement is it true or false. Auditor must ensure the financial statement is 100% correct. Is this statement true or false? Answer this question. Auditor must ensure financial statement is 100% correct. Is this true or false? It is false. Why false? Please remember this. If the mistake is small, the auditor just don't care. The auditor don't care because it's not important. For example, if a company earns 1 million profit, then there is a 20 cent difference in the account. The auditor will be like, 20 cent only, never mind. Okay, never mind, 20 cent, not big enough. So in short, everyone, I want you to know, auditor never ensure financial statement 100% correct. That is impossible. But auditor just make sure financial statement do not have big mistake. Is that clearer now, everyone? If clearer, you say clear. Is it clearer already? That's the auditor responsibility. They do not ensure 100% correct. If clear, you say clear. Clear? Good. Now, material misstatement can be due to fraud or error. I want you to understand this word. The big mistake can be due to fraud, can be due to error. This statement does not mean auditor is responsible to detect fraud. So I want you to write a note here. Note. It is not the main responsibility. It is not the main responsibility of auditor to detect fraud. The main responsibility is management. Management is the one that is responsible to detect fraud, not auditor. Auditor, yes, they have to be careful, but you cannot say auditor 100%, you must detect fraud. No. We cannot say that. Otherwise, auditor very susah, Like auditor already have to make sure financial statement has no big mistake. Now you have to look for fraud. So many things to do. That's unfair. So that's why we want to make it clear. Yes, when the auditor do audit, they need to be careful. They need to see, hey, is there a possibility for fraud to happen? When the auditor do audit, they are careful. That's okay. But you cannot say the auditor is 100% responsible to detect all the fraud. Everyone, is this clear? If this is clear, you type 444. Is this clear? We just say we be careful. I'm not saying that we are 100% responsible because that's not fair. We have some responsibility, but not everything. Now, everyone, you are going to learn about this in part B5. Okay, when you go to syllabus part B5, you will learn this in more detail, but I'm just telling you the idea. There is a topic just on fraud, is to explain on this responsibility. Okay, that's the important thing about audit. So in short, let me just conclude. Auditor must be independent. Okay, like what I said earlier today, auditor must be independent. Auditor responsibility is to express opinion on the financial statement, whether or not the financial statement give a true and fair view, ensuring the financial statement are free from material misstatement, not to ensure 100% correct, but just free from material misstatement. Okay, that's it. Now we move on to the next part already. Everyone, the next part is about the development of audit and other assurance engagement. This one, I don't want to go through because it won't come out, but it is a good reading for you. I will just want to tell you something which you may know or you may not know. Okay, everyone, let me ask you, do you know about this thing? Big Four accounting firm. Yes or no? Do you know what is Big Four accounting firm? If yes, you say yes. If you don't know, you say no. Do you know what is Big Four accounting firm? Yes, huh? Okay, you tell me, what are the Big Four? This won't come out in the exam, but it's good to know. It's good to know. EY, PwC, KPMG, Deloitte. Okay, very good. At least you know. Hey, because you know why? As an accounting student, if you don't know about this, then I'll tell you, please know. Please at least know what are the Big Four. Because when you go to an interview, you don't later on people say Big Four, you say, what is Big Four? KPMG interview you, then you tell them, I don't know what's Big Four. They will feel very upset. Okay, they will feel very upset. So you have to know. Just to tell you, KPMG, this firm, the name of KPMG is the most difficult to remember one. EY we know is Ernst & Young. PwC we know is PricewaterhouseCoopers. Deloitte is just Deloitte. Okay. KPMG is Kleinveld Pitt Marwick Godler. You can Google Kleinveld Pitt Marwick Godler. So KPMG interviewer normally likes to ask those who go for interview, please tell me what does KPMG stands for. Okay, so I'm not joking. It is a true question. Just to let you know. So if you next time want to interview KPMG, please remember the full name. Kleinveld Pitt Marwick Godler. Now, do you know, everyone? Do you know before Big Four, there was once upon a time Big Five? Do you know that, everyone? Yes or no? I'm just curious, like, do you actually know that before Big Four, there was a Big Five? Do you know that? Oh, you know, what is this Big Five? This Big Five has the same name as our subject, you know? They have the same name as our subject. Very interesting one. It's called Arthur Anderson. It's called Arthur Anderson, AA, you know. Hey, this firm, something happened. This firm closed down and only left with Big Four. What happened? Why so serious? Why is it that there was Big Four suddenly becomes Big Four? Why Big Five become Big Four? Okay, the whole story is this Enron. This is Enron. Okay, your AA won't examine, but I'll just tell you. Enron, this audit was a disaster. End up the auditor have to close down. Why? You read yourself. Okay, you read yourself. But anyway, there are a lot of things happening in our world, especially starting from late 1990 to early 2000. It causes auditor to be under a lot of spotlight because they start to say, hey, a lot of company, they go bankrupt. Is the auditor doing the right thing? That's what they're saying. So that's why audit rules now become more and more complicated. And you have something like a bank, you know, Lehman Brothers. It's a bank. It's a bank. Can you imagine a bank goes bankrupt? A bank goes bankrupt. What, can a bank goes bankrupt? Yes. The bank can go bankrupt. Muflis, in Malay, muflis can go bankrupt. Why? You go and, if you are interested, you go and find out yourself. But the idea is, they macam borrow too much money, whatever, they end up not enough money. So then people are asking, what is the auditor doing? Okay, that's why because this is not examinable, I don't want to tell you too much, but it is good for you to know. And here I want to introduce to you a term, everyone. This is a term that I want to introduce to you. Professional skepticism. Professional skepticism. This is a term that you will see in this paper. But what does it mean by professional skepticism? Okay, everyone. If I say I am skeptical, it means I don't trust you. For example, if you tell me, hey teacher, you just need to pay 1,000 ringgit. You know, I have a friend, they tell me you need to pay 1,000 ringgit. Then within 3 days, you will get 3,000 already, you know. Now everyone, when I listen to this, I'll be like, is this a scam? So I'm being skeptical. I don't trust you if you tell me this. So can you understand what skepticism already, everyone? If you can understand, you type 555. Understand already what is skepticism? Understand that? It means we don't trust. I don't trust you. So skepticism just means you do not simply trust your client. But we have to do this professionally. Please don't do this. Please don't go and look at the client. You know, when you meet your client, you say, hey client, I look at your face. You got face problem. What do you mean? Yeah, I look at your face, I see your face has a money face, and then I think you do fraud one. Wow, you say like that, I think the client slapped you already. Don't do that, okay? Don't do that. That is not professional. Professional skepticism, okay? Professional skepticism is, yeah, we don't trust them, but we don't tell them. You know, we don't tell them point blank that we don't trust you. It's just that when we do audit, we will be asking, okay, client say this, is it true? Hey, why they say this? Doesn't make sense there. So professional skepticism actually involves a lot of why. Client result is like this. Why is it like this? So we look for a reason. It is actually a mindset. It is actually you have a questioning mind. You know, your mind is when you do audit, you are like, okay, I don't want to trust the client 100%. What they tell me, I'll just listen. I'm going to think whether is that reliable or is that something which I don't think it is true. That's professional skepticism. Now, this is a very important attitude in audit because this attitude allows you to detect mistake faster. Okay, can you understand already? If you can understand, you type yes. Can you understand what does it mean by this professional skepticism already? Yes, you will learn about this term in more detail in the future, but at least as of now, you need to know this is the meaning. Okay, so if you're okay, I move on. Now, the next topic here, I won't go through in too detail. I will just tell you this. The learning outcome just wants you to learn what's the meaning of accountability, stewardship, and agency. Now, I have told you about agency theory already, so I wouldn't talk about the agent already. Just now I already tell you about agency theory, but I'll just quickly tell you what does it mean by accountability and stewardship. Just a quick one. When I say accountability, I am talking about responsible. Directors are accountable to shareholder. Directors is responsible to shareholder because director need to manage the money and they need to report to the shareholder. So they are accountable to shareholder. Now, what about steward? Steward means you are taking good care. Taking good care. The director has the responsibility to take good care of the shareholder investment. A director are also agent, like I told you just now. Okay, so that's the meaning. Accountable merely means responsible. Steward, if you exercise a good stewardship, you are taking good care of the shareholder investment. Okay, if you can understand this, type 666. Understand? That's all you need to know in this subtopic. Very easy. Exam won't come out also. You just know the meaning good enough already. Can you understand or not, everyone? 666 if you understand. Yes, people, hello? Hey, there are only 4 of you like they are replying me, but there are like 12 of you in the class. Come on. You need to interact with me. Come on. You cannot just sit there and listen and then you are thinking of other thing, you know. Okay, so understand. So that's why these are the 2 terms you need to know. Okay, no need to remember, but as long as you understand, that's good enough already. Okay, I'm going to skip to the next part. The next part is more important. This one. Okay, this one. This one, the chances for this to come out is actually higher. Okay, we need to learn what is the meaning of assurance engagement. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, Assurance comes from the word assure. This is the root word. Okay, the root word. Okay, what does it mean by assure? Okay, let's say everyone, if I tell you, if I make this statement, if you listen to my instruction and you do what I tell you, like practicing past year question, writing the answer on your own, I assure you that you will pass the exam. That's how we use the word. I assure you that you will pass the exam. Now, in other words, when I say I assure you, I am not saying that I guarantee you. No. I'm not saying I guarantee you. I'm saying that you should be able to pass. Can you understand the meaning, everyone? If yes, you say yes. Can you understand this meaning? I assure that you will pass. It means I give you confidence. Not 100%, but I give you confidence that you will pass. Okay, so assure merely means to give confidence to someone. Okay, that's the meaning of assure. So an assurance engagement is merely to an assurance engagement. Okay, when I say engagement, everyone, what is the meaning of engagement? Okay, this is a term which is used in audit firm. For example, when I audit a client, my whole work is known as an engagement because me as an audit firm and the client, when I do audit for them, we actually engage with each other. The client engage with us as an auditor so that we do audit for them. So the whole work is called engagement. So an assurance engagement is merely a team of people doing something so that we can give confidence to someone. So that's why it says here, assurance engagement is to enhance the confidence of the intended user. Is to make someone having confidence of something. Now, in order for you to give this kind of conclusion or opinion, so that they can get the confidence, of course you need to get evidence lah. Okay, now to make it clearer to you, everyone, let me write it here for you. I want to ask you this question first. Have a guess, ladies and gentlemen. Have a guess. Audit and assurance. Which one do you think is a larger scope? Okay, in other words, is audit part of assurance or assurance part of audit? You tell me, which one is a larger scope? Is it audit covers more things or is it assurance cover more things? Have a guess and you type the answer in the group chat for me. Have a guess, everyone. Which one is larger? Assurance is larger or audit is larger? Yeah, assurance? Which one is actually larger? It's okay, everyone. It's okay to make mistake, but I just want you to have a guess. Which one is actually larger? Assurance larger or audit is larger? Which one? Okay. So let me tell you the answer. Actually, it's like this. Assurance is larger. One of the assurance engagement is actually audit. Okay, why is that the case? Okay, to let you know simply, audit is only on financial statement, full stop. But I can assure you on other things, right? Audit on financial statement, I am giving shareholders confidence on the financial statement only. But assurance can be anything, Like for example, I will give you some other example of assurance to make you understand it better. Okay, now everyone, you are studying with UOW KDU for the ACCA program. Now, I think you know about this, right? Platinum status. Okay, you heard of this, right, everyone? Yes or no? If yes, you say yes. Heard of this? Platinum status for ACCA. Yes. You heard of it, I think you know, Hey, the rest you know or not? You are studying with a platinum status tuition provider. You know that, right? You know that, right? Hey, hello. Come on, I'm a bit concerned now. Do you know that you are studying with platinum status tuition provider? You don't know, guys, I'm asking a question. Please answer. Yes, you know, you know, okay. Now I'm a bit concerned because if you're not answering this question, I'm very concerned. You're starting with platinum status tuition provider. Now, what is this platinum status? Can anyone tell me? You study with a platinum status tuition provider. What does it mean actually? What does it mean? Or is it just for fun? It's not for fun. There is a meaning towards this platinum status one. Do you know what does platinum status mean? Yeah. High ACCA education. Okay. What do you mean by that? Specifically, what's so special about platinum? What's so special about platinum? Like, anyone can teach ACCA, but why UOW KDU is a platinum? Is there any specific reason? Passing rate is mid ACCA pass rate. It's not just mid, it's actually higher. It's actually higher than the world passing rate. And it's not just one paper. It's actually 75% of the paper. Maybe you don't know this, but 75%. Okay, and platinum status is not something that you can apply. It is what ACCA, after they review, like you are, first you get silver, then if you meet the criteria, you become gold, then they will review you. If they review and they find out that you exceed a lot of KPI, passing rate is one of them, then they will give you platinum. It's not something you can apply for. So giving platinum status gives confidence to potential student. It gives confidence to potential student. So you can say that the process where the ACCA grants platinum status to UOW KDU is actually an assurance service, because in order for them to grant this status, they need to do audit. They need to audit the operation. They need to talk to the student. They need to talk to the lecturer. They need to look at your study material. They need to look at the facility of the campus, whatever. So they need to gather a lot of evidence. Then in their opinion, they think that you fulfill platinum status, so they give you platinum status. So this is an assurance engagement. Okay, now let me give you another types of assurance engagement. This one. Halal certification. This one in Malaysia, if you open a restaurant, if you have a halal certification, you can actually sell to anyone in Malaysia, right? If you don't have the halal certification, then I'm sure a lot of you will not want to buy. Okay, I think you know what I mean, because this majority of the people in Malaysia is Muslim. So that's why this is very important. Now, how do you get this halal certification? Everyone, do you think this is an easy certification to get? Yeah, it's from JAKIM, right? Do you think JAKIM makes it difficult or easy to get this certification? You tell me. Those of you who who have interest in this, difficult or easy based on what you hear. I guarantee you they will make it difficult. No point making it easy. Okay, they will make it difficult. But why? It means that they have quality, right? If they certify, the certificate is very valuable. That certificates allow you to sell to everyone in Malaysia, right? So this is actually an assurance. They will have their own criteria. They need to visit your business. They need to ensure you do this properly. And then afterward, they give you opinion. They say, okay, you are halal certified. That's an assurance as well. So you see, it's a form of audit, but not just on financial statement, on other things as well. Now, do you know that assurance can also be used in for example, sports toto? Sports toto or 4D. This one is lottery, right? Lottery. They need assurance as well, why? Because sports toto is a gambling, right? No, it's not halal, but I'm just using this as an example. Sports toto, the process of drawing the number, they must make sure that there is no bias in the drawing process. Otherwise, people wouldn't want to buy sports toto or 4D from you. So they actually need an auditor to go and observe the process and then come up with a report and says, oh, actually the sports toto and the 4D drawing process are true and fair. There is no bias going on. You need an assurance provider as well. Okay, one last example to give you. Those some TV reality show, America Got Talent, UK Got Talent, Malaysia Got Talent, whatever. Those kind of show. Those kind of show. the judges have to make they have to make decision who will win. So sometimes the judges can be biased, so you can actually get maybe an audit firm or what to go and audit this process. Then they can issue a report so that other people, when they watch the TV show, they know that it is true and fair. They know that the process is independent, is is not biased. That's the meaning of assurance. So okay, everyone, now you understand better already on why I say assurance actually covers more things, but audit is only part of assurance only. If you understand this better already, type 666. Understand better already on what assurance is? Yes? Yep, understand? Okay, so good. Now, in your syllabus, you need to know these two things. We have audit, we have review, and we have others. These others are not important. For your syllabus, you need to know the difference between these two. But before I go into that, I need to tell you, typically in an assurance engagement, what can we expect? So everyone, let's go back to here. Now, I want you to look at this one straight away. Explain the 5 elements of assurance engagement. This is the one which we will look at, because this is the one which can come up in MCQ. Okay, most likely MCQ, sometimes writing, but the writing part actually not often. Sometimes only, like long time, then only they come out this. But it's not an area of focus in writing. MCQ, yes, I do see this coming out in MCQ. So you need to remember, in any assurance engagement, there are 5 elements. And everyone, you can remember by using this acronym, CREST. CREST. Okay, you can remember by using this acronym, CREST. Now, everyone, let me tell you something. In audit, I have a lot of this acronym. The acronym can help you to remember this criteria, and it will help you to answer your question. So it is a short form. So in the exam, you don't just write CREST, but I want you to write the full form out. It is merely to help you to remember. Okay, so let me start. What is included in an assurance engagement? Okay, well, let's use ACCA tuition provider platinum status. Okay, I think that one all of us can relate. We are all part of this platinum status, right? So, okay, you see, how should an ACCA know that whether a university or a tuition provider has met the criteria for platinum? ACCA must have a list of criteria, right? So in any assurance, they must have criteria. So for platinum status, let's say for platinum status, the criteria can be pass rate. It can be in terms of resources given to the student, whatever. So they will have a very detailed pass rate. I told you already, the pass rate is at least 75% of the paper more than world pass rate. That is the criteria. So we need to use the criteria to check whether did they meet the criteria. Now, as you know, audit of financial statement is also assurance engagement. An example of assurance engagement. Now, everyone, can you tell me, when we prepare financial statement, not we, when the management prepare financial statement, do they need to follow any rules? Yes or no, everyone? Answer? Yes or no? When the management prepare financial statement, do they need to follow any rules? Yes. Okay, tell me the rule. What is the rule that the management need to follow when they prepare financial statement? You learn this in FR. You learn this in your previous accounting paper. What's the criteria that the company need to follow in preparing financial statement? Yes, IFRS, accounting standard. That's the criteria. Okay, maybe conceptual framework, maybe the laws, whatever, but you know, I just use this very simple example, IFRS. Okay, right, can you understand the first elements now, criteria? If yes, you have 1, 1, 1. Understand already? In any assurance engagement which provide confidence, we must have a criteria on hand first. Otherwise, we cannot do assurance. 1, 1, 1, if you understand. Yes or no? Understood what is assurance? Yes. Okay, good. Now, let's move on to the second one. Report. Now, every assurance, you must give a report. So like ACCA, they will give you a certificate that says, congratulations, you are approved platinum status tuition provider up to which year. That's the report. Audit, you have audit report. So this can be in form of a certificate or a report, whatever. But the idea is it can be soft copy. It doesn't matter. Soft copy, hard copy, it doesn't matter. But this is the final outcome. When we want to do assurance engagement, at the end of the day, we want this report to be out. So that's the report. Okay. For audit, it will be auditor's report. For audit, we call this as auditor report. Now, auditor report would contain the auditor opinion. It contains the auditor opinion that the financial statement is true and fair. For platinum status, the certificate will contain the opinion of ACCA that this institution already fulfilled the criteria for platinum status. Okay, the third criteria, evidence. Now, if you want to, if ACCA want to award platinum status, they must get evidence one. So the evidence for platinum status can be in the form of a lot of ways, It can be, they may want to inspect your document. They may want to interview you. A lot of things they will do. For audit, it's the same as well. For audit, they can also inspect document. They can also ask client inquiries. A lot more. You will learn about this in the future. But the idea is, if you want to do audit or you want to do assurance, you must gather evidence. And evidence should be sufficient and appropriate. Evidence should be sufficient and appropriate. What is sufficient? Sufficient means enough lah. Mencukupi in Malay, mencukupi. Mandarin 足够啦. Okay, the evidence must be enough. Appropriate means the right evidence. You must obtain the right evidence. Cannot simply obtain evidence and simply conclude lah. The logic only. Okay, so far so good, everyone. If so far so good, type 222. Can understand already? In every assurance engagement, must have criteria, report, evidence. Understood? Yes, understood. Okay, now let's move on to the next one then, if you are okay. The next one, subject matter. Okay, subject matter. Now, what is subject matter? Subject matter means, what are you auditing? So, for example, in audit, the subject matter is financial statement. Okay, by the way, in my class, I use this short form. It means financial statement. So, in audit, we audit financial statement. So, the financial statement is the subject matter that we audit. Platinum status, the platinum status. Okay, the platinum status. So, for audit, it is financial statement. It means the item which requires opinion. Okay, the item which requires opinion. Like for platinum status, the subject matter is the ACCA course lah. That is the item which requires opinion. So whether does the course fulfill gold, platinum, or silver? That's subject matter. Okay, lastly, three-party relationship. Now, three-party relationship doesn't mean one guy have two girlfriends. No, it's not like that. Okay, it's not like that. It merely means in an assurance engagement there must be three parties involved. Okay, the first party, to remember this party, you have another short form actually. The short form is RIP. Rest in peace. Okay, no. It's just a short form. Okay, what does RIP mean? Okay, I write for you. RIP. Okay, R stands for responsible party. Okay, R stands for responsible party. Okay, responsible party means the party that is responsible to prepare subject matter. They are responsible to prepare the subject matter. That's responsible party. For example, platinum status. Who is the responsible party? The uni, right? the staff, the lecturer, the student. These are the responsible party, but more likely is the management, the management, the lecturer, the lecturing team. That is the responsible party because they are responsible to provide ACCA courses in which the ACCA will grant you platinum status. What about audit? For audit, the responsible party is the director, is the management. So, okay, I think you will know this. Responsible party generally refers to management. Generally, refers to management. Okay, the second one, intended user. Intended user is the user which requires the report. Intended user is the one which requires the report. Now, for an audit, who requires the report? Shareholder. Okay, so for example, shareholder in an audit, they are the one who requires the report, so they are the intended user. Okay, what about platinum status? Who requires the report? Potential student, existing student, parents, sponsors. Like, some of you are sponsored students, so your sponsor, they require this report. So this is the intended user, those who need the report to decide whether they trust you or not. Okay, what about P? P is practitioner. Okay, what is practitioner? Practitioner is the one that practice the assurance. Now, when I say I practice assurance, it means I do assurance service. When I practice audit, I do audit. So practitioner is merely the one who provide the assurance service. Okay, it's merely the one who provide the assurance service. For the audit of financial statement, practitioner is the auditor. For platinum status, the practitioner is ACCA. They are the one who do the audit. Okay, everyone, so can you now see a better picture already on what assurance is all about? Yes or no? If yes, you type yes. Understand already? In any assurance, this one must be in. Okay, in any assurance, this one must be in. Now, how can this be examined? MCQ. They may ask you who is the intended user, who is the practitioner, whatever. Then maybe writing, they may ask you to write as well. Alright, everyone, is this okay? Yes or no? Only 4 of you say yes. The rest, okay, yeah. If yes, say yes. Can you understand? Yes, huh? Okay, good. So, anyway, this is the further explanation here. Now, what I will do is later on, we will do a question. We'll do a question, and I will write the answer for you to have a look. Okay, like if it comes out in writing, what should you do? Okay, now that you know that assurance, okay, now that you know assurance is we understand it through this crest. The next thing, the last thing actually in your syllabus is you need to know what's the difference between these two, audit and review. Just an introduction. Now, what is the difference between audit and review? Okay, this is explained in the next topic. Oh, by the way, everyone, if you see I skip, it means not important. And then again, as I told you, lecture note is not something for you to spend too much attention on. If the part I skip, you skip only. You just read through once. You don't really need to remember or what. Only the part which I focus a lot, you focus on studying. Okay, so the next part. The types of assurance engagement, we know that there is an external audit, there is a review. You need to understand what they are and what are the main difference. Okay, first of all, everyone, an audit is quite thorough. An audit is actually quite thorough, as in normally it is required by the law. Although there might be some audit which is not required by the law. You know, for example, in Malaysia, companies must be subject to audit. There are some exceptions, but not many. If you have sole proprietorship, partnership, no need audit. The law says no need audit. But if the partners want to audit, they can. Okay, so that's the difference between statutory or non-statutory. Not so important, okay, not so important. But the most important thing is you need to know that if I talk about the second part, which is review actually involve lesser evidence if compared to audit. Now, let me explain this further. Okay, let me explain this further. Okay, let's say you have a company. Okay, from what I told you, companies audit is compulsory. Okay, end of story. As far as the financial statement, you must do audit. End of story. Okay, but for like this partnership, let's say partnership. Everyone, let me ask you, see if you listened to what I say just now. Partnership, is audit compulsory? Yes or no? Answer this question. Is audit compulsory? Not compulsory. Okay, then I ask you the next question. If I want to do audit, can or cannot? Yes or no? Can. Okay, so here, audit, we can audit, but not compulsory. Which means that if we do audit on partnership, it will be the same as company. It's just that not compulsory. Kalau mau, buat lah. Okay, if you want, you do lah. Okay. Now, this one okay. Okay, now then I tell you, there is another type of assurance. There is another type of assurance which is called review. Okay, this review is also optional. It's also optional. But the whole point of review is it is cheaper. It is cheaper than audit. Lebih murah. Okay, cheaper than audit. It involves lesser work. So this one, you want to review partnership, you want to ask an audit firm to perform review, you can do so. You can review. Again, it is not compulsory. So in other words, ladies and gentlemen, in other words, if you are a partnership company, okay, if your business is a partnership, you can choose. You want audit, you can. You want review, you can. You don't want, also can. Okay, you don't want, also can. They have a choice. But why is it that they can choose for review? Now, first thing first, for company, right? Compulsory, end of story. You don't talk about other review. We are talking about partnership like this, where the review is not, where there is no requirement to do audit one, they can choose. They can choose. So as part of your syllabus, you need to understand what's the difference between audit and review. Okay, it's for this, like if you have a partnership, you need to know, okay, I can choose for audit. So I need to know what is audit. I can also choose review. I need to know what is review. So the whole point is review is cheaper than audit. It involves lesser work. If the partners want review, okay. If the partners want audit, okay. If they don't want anything, also okay. Everyone, you understand what I mean? If you understand what I mean, you type 777. Okay, understand what I mean? For partnership, it's like that. Up to them. You mau, you ambil lah, tak mau, tak apa. That's the whole point. But for you, as an auditing student, you must know the difference. That's all. You only need to know the difference. The details of how you do review, don't worry, won't come out. Advanced audit, then only you learn. Okay, but for your purpose, know the difference can already. Okay, so I will just summarize the difference for you here. Now, everyone, this page, just take note, this page, page 9, this page you can skip. It's not going to come out. Okay, it's not going to come out. It will not come out in the exam. This one, no need to know. You just need to know about this one. What's the difference between audit and review? Okay, now ladies and gentlemen, look at this. First thing first. You see the title here is reasonable assurance and also limited assurance. I will tell you what this means in a short while, but you need to know for audit first, the evidence to be gathered must be sufficient. sufficient and appropriate. The evidence to be gathered must be sufficient and appropriate. For review, you don't need sufficient appropriate. You gather just enough evidence, lesser than audit. Now, because of this, remember, because students normally ask me, hey teacher, why limited assurance we can use lesser? Well, partnership, if they want, they can want optional. If they want audit, they can. If they want review, also can. So that's the reason. It's just a choice for them. You want audit or you want review, or you don't want both, up to you. So that's why if you go for review, the evidence is lesser. The engagement team will not gather a lot of evidence. Now, because of this, everyone, would you agree with me if I say, since the evidence is lesser, so the confidence level is actually lower than audit? Agree or not, everyone? If you agree, you say agree. Agree or not? If I only gather enough evidence, I gather lesser evidence. When I do audit, I cannot give a very high level of confidence. Okay, I cannot give a very high level of confidence. But for audit, because I get evidence that is enough, I get evidence that is correct, so the confidence level is actually higher. That's the meaning of reasonable assurance and limited assurance. You can understand reasonable assurance as a high level of assurance, but not absolute. In audit, we give people, yes, very high level of confidence. We give very high level of confidence, but not absolute. Because we do not guarantee 100% correct. Okay? We do not guarantee 100% correct. That's why we say the level of assurance is high, but not absolute. Okay? High level, but not an absolute level. That's what it means by reasonable assurance. Okay, that's what it means by reasonable assurance. Now, for limited assurance, the level of assurance is only moderate. It's not half only. Half. So lower than reasonable. So, okay, everyone, can you understand the difference between these two words now? One is called reasonable assurance. One is called limited assurance. If you can understand now, you type yes. Can understand the difference already? Reasonable and limited. This term is a term which we always see in audit. You need to know what it means. Reasonable means, yeah, it's a high level of confidence, but not 100%. Limited is moderate. Okay, finally, the last learning that you need to know for today is this one. In a reasonable assurance engagement like an audit, we give a positive conclusion. Now, what is a positive conclusion? A positive conclusion is like this. In our opinion, internal control is effective. In our opinion, financial statement is true and fair. So that's what it means by positive conclusion. Okay, very straightforward. They tell you, after we get sufficient and appropriate evidence, our opinion is financial statement true and fair. When people look at this, they feel more confident. That's the meaning of positive conclusion. For review, we give a negative conclusion. Now, what does it mean by negative conclusion? Okay, everyone, before I look at the notes, I want you to listen to me. Listen. Okay, there are 100 transactions. Okay, there are 100 transactions. I only review 5. I use less evidence. 100 transactions. I only review 5. That 5 evidence that I get has no problem. Full stop. Now, everyone, if you look at this, what I say, right? I say, I only look at 5, and these 5, no problem. My opinion or my conclusion is only on that 5 transaction, It's not on the remaining 95. That's the meaning of negative conclusion. Okay, so you see what it means here. A negative conclusion has this wording. Based on our work described, nothing has come to our attention that makes us believe internal control is not effective. We did the review of the 5 transactions. That 5 transactions, we did not find anything that is not right. Based on the 5 out of 100, we did not find anything that is not right. So you see that there are 2 nots, right? 2 not, nothing and also not. But in short, this kind of evidence, this kind of conclusion is a very negative one, as in negative not to say wrong, it's just that the conclusion doesn't give people a lot of confidence. But that is the nature of review. Okay, that's the nature of review. Basically, it's just, we look at this, we did not realize anything is wrong. So I don't know about the one that I don't look at. That's negative conclusion. Okay, everyone, do you agree? This kind of wording actually give us only limited assurance. If you can see that, you type 888. Can see that already? This kind of conclusion give us a very, limited assurance. 888, if you can understand that. Okay, good. That's all you need to know for this topic. Okay, that's all you need to know for this topic. Okay, now the last part here is just the meaning of true and fair. This won't come out, you read through yourself, can already. Now, I put in the appendix is the stages of audit. You can read through it yourself. This is something which we will go throughout the semester. There is also a sample independent auditors report format for you to look at it. But this is not the focus for today. When we are studying the audit reports, topic, then we can look back at this again. Okay, now I have around 4 more minutes to go. Now, this is what I want to do. I actually want to do this. Wait a minute. I actually want to do a bit of question with you. Now, don't worry, you don't have this question, and I don't want you to copy my answer, but I just want you to spend the last few minutes. Look at how I answer the question. Okay, you don't need to copy, you just look on it. How I answer the question, I will type the answer out. I will upload this to the open learning. You can then jot down the answer later. You can do your own practice. So it's just for you to see. Because of time, I won't give you time to jot down the answer, but you just look. Okay, so after the class, I want you to try to write this answer on your own. Just get a feeling of how to answer questions in audit. And then also, get ready for the next class by Nicholas. So you can see the study plan. The study plan actually tells you what are the topic that Nicholas want to cover, because I think the next 2 classes, which is on the Saturday one. Okay, now this coming Saturday is his, it's here. This coming Saturday, these are the topic that he will cover with you. It's actually all the small little topic that he will cover with you. Then only I will meet you for the audit risk topic. Okay, so you may want to do some reading on this topic before his class. Okay, then he will get you through, and also some question. But for now, what I will do is A2, I don't have time to go through. I will give you video, but at least let me do the question here. Then at least you have some reference after this. Okay, now, the question here is, explain the 5 elements of an assurance engagement. Okay, explain the 5 elements of an assurance engagement. The top part here is just telling you about some story, which you can read through, but not that important. Now, I'm going to just start the answer. You see, how do I structure my answer? So, when I start answering, I'm going to write like this, so I will follow the requirement like this. The 5 elements of an assurance engagement include the following. Then I know that these elements of assurance engagement, I know that the short form is CREST, C-R-E-S-T. So I'm going to write C-R-E-S-T. Then I'll I will recall, okay, C is criteria. Then this is report. This is evidence. This is subject matter. This is three-party relationship. Okay, so now I have all these keyword out already. I leave some space in the middle. Then all this becomes my subtitle. Okay, you see, all this becomes my subtitle. So I'm going to write my answer beneath the subtitle. Then your answer becomes very organized already. In your exam, I expect you to do the same. Underline the key point, then you elaborate down here. Now, the question asks for explain. It means here you need to have at least two sentences. At least two sentences. So just a short sentence will do. You see how I write? I will just write like this. You see, for example, in an assurance engagement, suitable criteria is required to evaluate the subject matter. We need to use criteria to evaluate subject matter. That's one sentence. Then I give an example. For example, in an audit of financial statement, the subject matter is the accounting standard. Okay, that's enough already. Okay, now what about report? At the end of an assurance engagement, a report is issued by the practitioner. It contains the practitioner opinion. Just like this, just two short sentences. End of the assurance report, assurance engagement, practitioner issue report. The report has the opinion of the practitioner. Okay, then this one, in an assurance engagement, sufficient and appropriate evidence needs to be obtained by the practitioner. Okay, sufficient and appropriate evidence need to be obtained by the practitioner. The evidence would help practitioner to express opinion on the subject matter. Okay, now what is subject matter? Subject matter is the item that is evaluated by the practitioner in an assurance engagement. Give example. For example, in an audit of financial statement, the subject matter is the financial statement. Okay, just like this. So just explain what you know. Now, finally, three parties relationship. I'll just quickly explain the three-party relationship. In an assurance engagement, okay, there are three parties involved. Okay, three parties involved. Wait. I can use bullet point, but bullet point is just is still full sentence. Must write full sentence. Responsible party is a party responsible to prepare subject matter. Intended user is the party that requires the assurance report. Practitioner is the party that conduct assurance engagement. Okay, that's the idea of how you can write your answer. Okay, so in any case, everyone, because as I told you, I just want you to look at how I write. It's merely because I want you to see. In the exam, you are expected to write the subtitle and then some short sentence like this. If you want to get full marks, you can also use the bullet point. Okay, everyone, understand already the structure of the answer which is expected. If you understand already, you say yes. Okay, understand the structure of this answer here. Understand? Then you study the answer in more detail on your own. Now, I have another question as well, but I wouldn't write for you now. You see, this question, just a quick one, like, what is the difference between external audit and review? Just now, I actually explained in detail already. You just use two of the point to explain. Then next, they ask you, what is the level of assurance by external and review? You can say, external is to provide reasonable assurance. Review is to provide limited assurance. I will type the answer in. I will upload in the Google Drive, not Google Drive, I'll upload in the Open Learning. I want you to study the answer properly. Okay, so that's all for A1. Part A2, as I told you, there will just be a short video, no practice, just a short video. You watch it, can already. Then this Saturday, you remember, come to campus and you meet Nicholas, okay, for the subsequent topic. Yeah, I will see you again next week, I think. Okay, that's all. If you don't have any other question, thank you very much, everyone. Okay, thank you, and I'll see you again soon. Okay, bye bye and take care.